speak Southern English because Nigeria is south of America. So I speak a real, Southern of Southern English.
Right.
Okay. Well, it's a great honor to be with you all this morning. And it's a small world, especially within the family of God. I met Doxy back in July, yes, at Camp Cana in Ringo. We are staying in Ringo. And Brother Ryan Goen is a good friend of mine, very good friend. He invited me to the meeting, and we had great time. We were blessed. It was a wonderful meeting, and I met Doxy. We had good fellowship, and he said he's going to talk to his dad about us. Okay. Normally, I leave that to God. So when Pastor King called, it was a surprise. He said, "You met my son, met you at Camp Cana?" Yes, yes. Of course, we've met a lot of people, and I was trying to say, who is this? Who is that? Who is that? But I'm glad to see his face again. And I quickly, there, that's it. We did enjoy our time. We are the Ojos. And Ojo, Domi, is how we call it. But I don't want to go into that. But I have our dear friends here, meeting them for the first time. I spoke to the wife on Friday. They are from Nigeria. And he's from my town. I know his house. I know his family house. So I know. What a small world. That's what a small world. And I'm most happy to see people from Africa, from Nigeria, especially from my tribe, now from my town, being in a Bible-believing church. It goes a long way, sir. It's the key. It's sure. Just like Pastor said. Praise God. Well, thank you for having us, Pastor. Thank you for the hospitality since we arrived yesterday. We'll be going late this afternoon. But we'll be still praying about coming for the Jubilee and any other meetings around there to get new contacts. Like I said, we are the Ojos. It's not working this morning. We are missionaries to Nigeria. Ronke, Janice, Nicole, Isaiah is back in Nigeria. We adopted him, working on his papers. And of course, Timothy. We are your missionaries to Nigeria. Please don't mind the slant list. I couldn't get it fixed. Well, Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa, with population of over 193 million people in 2018. Nigeria is projected to overtake US by 2050, the way the population is growing, according to data. And that is scary. You know why? US has a land area of a little bit over 3.6 million square miles. 3.6 million square miles is what America has as land size. Nigeria has just under, almost 360,000 square miles. That's roughly about 10% of your land mass. So imagine us overtaking you in 2015 population. Already, Nigeria is so populated that a lot of people are on the street, not living on the street, but we are always walking. You know what I'm saying? Our streets are not this quiet. Even when you go to some villages, you still see people on the street walking. Right, doctor? So it's a well-populated country, which is right, which is why a lot of interest are on Nigeria from social point of view, religious point of view, especially from Islamic point of view. There's a serious Islamic agenda to overtake Nigeria and overrun Nigeria. So we need prayer and we need to do more in reaching Nigeria with the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. And we are so burdened to do that because it's a great nation. It's the largest in Africa. It is the largest economy, even though there's a serious dichotomy in economic stature between the rich and the poor. But still, when you look at the GDP of Nigeria, it is the largest economy in Africa. And that is just measuring 60% of Nigeria economic database. Imagine if they put in 100%. So Nigeria is key. And if we really want to reach more of Africa, we need to reach Nigeria. And through Nigeria to reach more of Africa. Especially with Bible sound doctrine and Bible believing churches that will be preaching the gospel, undiluted gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I'm not just talking about having churches, I'm talking about reaching Nigeria with the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. Baptizing believers, those who believe, and teaching them all things. That is discipleship.
Right.
I believe in discipleship a lot because it's a key to making the gospel to spread. Because those you well disciple will be able to reach others.
Right.
Okay? So we are in Nigeria. Now, I'm going to put a little statistics before I quickly move forward. Nigeria is about 50.5. That was the data I got last year, 2017. Now, Muslims are claiming they are about 65%, but that's not true. There's just a little bit over 50%, 50.5 to 51%. However, it used to be that Christians are more than Muslims in Nigeria. Far more. But Islam is growing. And I'm going to give you one of the reasons. So that translates that over 96.5 million Nigerians are Muslims. They practice Islam, making Nigeria the 5th largest Islamic population in the world. Now, Indonesia is number 1. India, because of their large size, though Muslim is minority, is number 2. Bangladesh is number 3. I think Pakistan is a little bit over number 4. Then Nigeria number 5. Look at that group. It means Nigeria has more Muslims than Saudi Arabia, than Iran, than Iraq, than all those. We do, in numbers. So they are trying to overrun Nigeria, like I'm telling you, a lot of their services. Now, this is another key data. 49% of Nigerians go to church. They practice Christianity. But they are mostly Christian by names and not in salvation experience. Yes, because they believe they are born into Christianity, that makes them Christian. But they've never come to have personal contact with Jesus
Right.
and trust him as their savior. So even though we have like 96% and over 90 million Nigerians that are practicing Christianity, 90 million, which includes Catholic, Methodist, Anglican, Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, Mormons, anyone that just carry Bible is put into this. And many of them are not born again. So, and now, and another data that is so serious is that Nigeria has been rated as one of the most religious countries in the world. If not the most religious. Everybody has a religion in Nigeria. They're either a Muslim, a Christian, or traditional worshiper. Incidentally, those who practice Islam or identify themselves as Christian because they are born into it, remember not salvation is spread, they still interlope with traditional worship. You see? So it's a religious country. Everybody practices religion. So with all this data, you can see Nigeria needs the Lord, needs Jesus, needs the gospel.
Right.
And we are so grateful that God has counted us worthy with this million of unsaved people. He has counted us, has given us opportunity, and he has placed us in the ministry to do our best in our little corner to shine our light of the gospel that Christ has given to us, to our people in Nigeria. And this we are doing through first church planting, the preaching of the gospel and planting of churches. And we started our first church back in 2004, 14 years ago, February 1st, 2004. And we have been able to reach thousands of souls through our soul winning outreach, and several hundreds have been discipled. Today, our church, Faith Baptist Church, you are going to see it, is averaging over 200 to about 250 people in attendance. That's a small church compared to some other churches in Nigeria. But you imagine a church that is locally started by an independent Baptist missionary. That's not bad. But one of our key is not just the size of the church only, but the outreach program we have. And you're going to see that in a moment. We started this church under a tent and tree. We rented it, did that for a couple of months for the first year. And God gave us a little land there, one plot. We are trying to buy the next 2 plots beside us, but it's owned by a Muslim. And he said this over his dead body. So, and we are waiting for him to die. We are praying for his salvation, but we are waiting for his death. As it is appointed unto to that. So I'm not saying something straight, right? And it's left to God whether to kill him this year. But we wanted that 2 plots to really give us education, building, and other things on the property. But we only have 1 plot, and you're going to see what we try to maximize with it. And as we continue to preach and teach the gospel, Faith Baptist Church continues to grow. And we build these small churches about 35 feet by 45 feet long. The land is 65 feet by 120 in length. So it's a little bit up to the front. And the church continues to grow. We are baptizing believers. As we baptize, we teach. And you can see 45 feet having 200 plus people. So we overgrew the land by this building. So what did we do? Like I said, as we teach and preach, we are using one of the buildings opposite our house, owned by one of the flat there, one of our members is having it. So we are using the sitting room for the children church on the top. And we are using the back of the building for the youth program. Sometimes we have reached close to 100 university students in the church, which is another great opportunity of reaching the youth for the next generation. So, well, as Faith Baptist Church continues to grow, we had to extend our church auditorium. So what we did was we removed the roof, hatched to the back. So the length now is 95 feet. We still maintain the width of 35 feet. And we raised it higher so as to give it more echo, and people can see from the back to the front, not just low ceiling. And so we did that. And while we are doing that, we had one of our meetings outside, and people still came. Isn't that wonderful? People, they want to know, they want to serve the Lord. That's another thing. Hunger is there. And with that hunger there, we can give them the truth. Amen. But that's key. When people are hungry, they eat anything they see. Sure. Yeah. That's why Islam is trying it too. I'm telling you, Islam is really trying. Because the people are hungry, spiritually, physically, and everything. So they are trying to meet that. And it is good for us, Bible-believing churches and organizations and people, to really do our best to feed the people with the truth. Right. And so people will always come. Even in rain, they will come. We are talking about rain, maybe disturbing some people from coming. I wonder, I'm pleased, I'm not trying to be abusive or insulting, but I mean, you have your car. Sure. You have your AC in your car or heat. Right. You have the road that are not waterlogged. That you don't know whether you are going to 3 feet ditch or 5 feet ditch that will swallow your car, right, doctor? When it rains, you don't know. A lot of waters on the road, pool, that you can swim like swimming pool. So I wonder sometimes when people say, oh, I didn't come to church because of rain. I say, what? Right, yeah. It's ridiculous. Come on. Is your car going to melt? Yeah. But that's the truth. But people will always come. Now, I need to move faster. So this is the building project going on. And that's after we finish it. We had the first service last year for our homecoming. We put in over 300 to about 400 people into it. And it was so awesome. And more of the services coming later as we finish. This previous one, we've not put in the ceiling, but since then, we've added the ceiling to it. I think it's hard. So we've added the ceiling to it. We've done a lot to the work. And but one of the things in this ministry I should add, and I was telling Pastor King the other time, is in the church, God is already calling people. God is already calling. Amen. We have 8 already trained or in training. One of them has graduated. 7 still in training. And this is our strategy. To take these men after their training, pray, go to a new town, village, or area, and start another church there. Right. As a matter of fact, by the grace of God, as soon as we get back, we are starting the next church. And that way, probably in 10 years, we'll have put up and be able to start, by the grace of God, 10 churches. Amen. And when those churches are growing, we'll be able to multiply to replicate. And that's the way to do it. That's the way our Lord wants, asks us to do it. Okay? Then, God added another tremendous ministry to our ministry about 4 years ago. And that is driving ministry. You can see the van, a Toyota Hiace, brand new, donated to us by driving ministry in Prattville, Alabama, Brother Mike Jones. You're going to see his picture next. And of course, there's one sitting there. That was when we had the old church. And what we do is, we get projector, PA system, video player, microphone, wireless. Is mobile. We had this the first one in front of our church to test run it back to 2014. Then we go to street corners. Like I said, remember the population statistics I gave. People are always on the street. So put it, and many people do not have home theater like you all do here. So this attracts a lot of attention. We just have a lot of Okada people, that is those on motorcycle taxi. And so they will just stay. People coming back from work, from farm, depending on the location, whether it's big town or small village or small town. And they will just talk. We will begin probably about 6 or 5. The singing, preaching over the microphone, sharing the gospel. As soon as it gets dark little, that will be about 7. We begin to show Jesus' feet. Or we have one in Yoruba, made by Mount Zion, very good, called Ese Ajoji. We use that a lot in villages, where Yoruba, our language is the primary language, so that they can hear it. And we've recorded, listen to this, 100 will be about minimum attendance, people that gather. Averagely, over 300 people. Amen. Can you believe that? Just no announcement, no flyers, we just set it up. We can decide this afternoon, let's say tomorrow, Monday, I say, hey, let's go do driving. We just go to that corner there, begin to sing, begin to pray. By the time we begin to show the movie, we may have like 200, 300, 400 people that will hear the gospel. Amen. The largest we had was in the town of Shao in Kwara State. And we had over 1,000 people. 1,000 is a tremendous ministry that last year, that's Brother Mike Jones with in his traditional dress. You people call it pajamas. But I tell you, if Pastor P comes tomorrow to Nigeria, we are going to give him one. I see him wearing blue color today, but I will probably make one in pink. I'll be there. But really, it's good. He's been with us 3 times or 4 times now, Brother Mike Jones. Always coming. He's the director of driving ministry. He's partnering with us. And we are reaching it. Last year, in 2017, we recorded over 3,000 professions of salvation just through this ministry alone. And I can tell you, at least, we try our best to make sure that 50% or more of them are reached after and discipled. Amen. So, that is driving a lot of pictures. You can see those big speakers, they are so big that when we crank it all the way up, people hear it far away. Right? Noise is not a big deal with us. Nobody will call police for noise. You see, I'm glad this morning that I have somebody that can testify. Everything I say, they can say, oh, it's not exaggerating. He's really saying it as it is. I always love that. See, this is Pastor Mali of Shao, where we had over 1,000 people. This is Brother Wale, Grace Alone Independent Baptist Church in the Ojo State. Through this ministry, we've gone to Kwara State, Ondo State, Osun State, Ogun State. They are planning to go to Akwa Ibom. So in other words, it's a mobile ministry that we are partnering with local churches, independent Baptist churches in different states, and holding crusades with them. It's a tremendous truth that God has given us, and we give glory to God for that. That's one aspect of our ministry, and I can go on with a lot of picture. You can see it in the dark, how big it is, and sharp. And people, some churches will put out chairs, some will just do it on the side of the street, no chairs, and so on. And this is our Facebook page called Faith Baptist Church Driving Ministry Prayer Group. And a lot of updates, Muslims getting saved, different churches will be in. You can go online to check a lot of these pictures, how they are there, working with different people. Now, the next ministry we have is the orphanage. Safe Harbor Baptist Children's Home. Now, Nigeria has over 9 million orphans, according to UNICEF. And I would say it's even more than that. Yes. Practically, an orphan is somebody who has lost a father or mother or both. But full orphans, I would say, are probably about this number. 9 million. One of the reasons why orphan is growing in Nigeria is Islamic violence, especially in the north. We're going to show you 3 of our children that their parents were killed by Muslims, and we got them in the orphanage. Another reason is because people die young, poor health facility, wreck, a lot of dangerous driving. We have no speed limit. So if you like speed, come on to Nigeria. You can get to a small bit of good road and reach 160 miles, 200 if you like. But then, the next corner you see a big dish in the middle of the road. Bye-bye. So, but a lot of people always ask, what is the contributing factor to orphanhood? And I always tell, different. Islamic violence, poor health, wreck because of poor road and dangerous driving, and so on. Now, why are they growing? They could not be that number. Nigeria has one of the most difficult adoption policies in the world, right? In fact, if you are not a Nigerian, you cannot adopt. And many Nigerians do not have the facility or ability to adopt. Isn't that? And people like Dr. Here, if they want to come to adopt, they will spend, and probably 5 years, 10 years, they are still in the corruption. So you know, I'm saying what is, praise God. So Nigeria has one of the most difficult adoption policy in the world. That has increased, is increasing it. A lot of these children, listen, they are left on the streets or exploited through child labor and sexual abuse. So God brought in us 2007, we started Safe Harbor Baptist Children's Home. And those pictures. We currently have, we currently have 11 children. Used to be 12, we adopted our son. 13, one other, Esther Lynn, was adopted by a couple, Nigerian couple in Maryland, in the US, the Kutis. Mrs. Yedisa Kuti. But we adopted Isaiah. The remaining 11 are mostly not adopted. So we set up our orphanage as a fostering system. I was explaining to pastor, where we brought in other pastors with us that we have trained, and we rented 5 buildings. 4 of those buildings are 3-bedroom flats each, and we put each parent, each family in the house, and we put each orphan 3 or 4 or so in each building with them, so that these children can grow in a family setup. So we currently have 11 children, and this is Abraham Hajan, Daniel and Ruth Haring. For Negen, one of the 3 Negen brothers, their parents were killed by the Muslims in Kaduna. John Negen, that's the other brother. Rebecca Samson. Rebecca and Mary Samson and Timothy Samson. Their father died. Within the year, their mother died. And their father's family took their father's pension from railway and all the properties and left the children with nothing. Through our church in Mina, Pastor Andrew, we got of the story and we brought them to the orphanage, 3 of them. Paul and Enoch, another interesting story. Those are the names there I told you. And these are the household, like I'm telling you. We put those children. Now, in this photo, this is the latest family we are having. I used to be an house parent, but now being the director and doing other ministry work, we brought in Brother Abokede, and this is the idea. We begin when we interview, we investigate cases, and when we see the serious need of an orphan, we replace them with him, so that we grow that household too. And so, that's what we do. Entire safe harbor children. And you cannot know biological children from the orphans. They are so mixed up and living as brothers and sisters. People who come really commend that that's very good and that's very great. Now, in addition to this, a lot of widow situation, men that died and left their young wives. Many of them are abandoned by extended families. And we cannot be bringing all the children to the orphanage. So we started about 3-4 years ago what we call Widows and Fatherless Relief Initiative. We call it relief. That is, we are not giving them full care, but we are relieving them. We are giving them relief. We are helping them with food, helping in education of their children, housing, clothing, as the Lord provides and as the needs may be. So, this is one of them. That is the daughter of this woman. She has 6 daughters, and because they are all girls, there's no family abandoned her. They can testify to that. Ladies and women are at disadvantage in our culture a lot. Women are very disadvantaged. So she has 6 girls. So we are taking the first daughter. We are sponsoring her through Federal College of Education in Oyo. So this is the strategy. When she finish her education and get a good job, we were able to secure her through the grace of God. She will be able to take care of her younger one. So it's about long-term planning. So that's one of the widows we are really working with. These are the other widows and their children. Then the last but not the least of our ministry is our Christian school in the village of Abikan, very close to Ajawa. Yes, sir. In Ogumosho. He knows all these places I'm talking about. The village of Abikan is the middle now, very remote. And through the grace of God, we are reaching 5 villages, and Nigeria has over 40 people who are without education in the remote area. 40% of Nigeria. That is very serious, that is close to 80 million people. But over 40 million children out of that do not have access to education or to good education, mostly in the villages. It's even worse in the north. Very worse in the north, according to these statistics. But we do provide education with free lunch for children in 5 villages. This is a typical picture of the villages in our area. And this is our school. And you can see the plate at the corner bottom and the children. And I'm going to show you one interesting picture here. Look at this baby. She's having hijab. She's a child of a Muslim. And she's attending our school. And we tell her Jesus. We share the gospel with her. So the parent, okay, you want free education for your child, you cannot tell us not to tell her about Jesus when they have a Bible study and so on. That's a great opportunity to do that. And this is some of the children, and we feed them free lunch and free education, and most importantly, we give them Jesus. Mm-hmm. Our priority need is to build our orphanage. Where we are using is rented. So we secure 3 acres, we want to double it. If the next plots, they want to sell it, they are not still selling it. So, but we started the first building, we cleared the land, put up borehole and foundation. We brought in people. I don't know if doctor will know him. This is Ale of Okelere. If you know him, he's one of the, yeah. I will. Baba is one of our people, and he was there at the foundation. He's one of the local chief or king in town, and doctor knows him very well, and he knows. So Baba, And Babala Sende is the one there too.
Yes.
The one you gave your land for the church.
Yes.
That's it. So it's a local community ministry that want to reach the community. But don't forget, we have the truth. And we are giving them Jesus. Using the opportunity to share the gospel. And we put out the foundation, make our bricks. Those are the houses. The first house is ready to be roofed. The first house is ready to be roofed. Each house is costing $60,000. And it is 4,200 square feet. 5-bedroom. The smallest bedroom is 14 by 14 or so. Out of those bedrooms, average is like 14 by 18 feet. And we will put at least about 12 orphans in each house with the families. So we are building 5 of these houses, and we are building 5 of these houses, then office and guest house for people when they come on mission trip to stay with us in the orphanage. Then we minister together through driving and in our churches. So this is what God has called us to do. And we want you to be praying for us. And we really appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning. We pray for us as we continue to reach Nigeria with the gospel of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
So, any question? I tried to finish on that.
No, you did good. Anybody got a question?